I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded today. Also pay respects to the elders past and present, and extend that respect to any other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be listening today. This is Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast designed to give an insightful look into the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Welcome back, Mel Nation. I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is Melanated in Melbourne.
Melanated in Melbourne.
We are back in the booth with the People's Princess herself.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chantal Bala.
There's applause to our audience.
Oh my gosh.
They're right outside the door.
I feel
they
it.
see you. They
I'll be there
receive you.
soon, guys. I promise.
Are you happy to be in Paris?
Yes.
Oui, ne jouez pas, ne.
Oh, okay. You speak a little French.
Je ne parle français.
Oh.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't even think I said that right. I think it's like, je ne parle pas français, which means I don't know how to speak
Well,
French.
it is better than what I can say.
No.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
win. That's
Thank
all we
you.
got. That's all we got. That's all we
Shout out
got.
Paris.
But we are very happy to have Chantal in the stew with us. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm energized. I'm ready. I'm
Period.
just here. I'm present. And yeah, you both know I love you so much.
Oh,
And,
we
like,
We love you.
I'm just a fan of everything you guys are doing. So it's just so full circle to see all the people who've brought and like watching the episodes here and there, and then now being part of this as well.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. So thank you.
And we're on a very similar frequency. For those of you who are watching us on the YouTubes and our visual element, we are coordinated in colors
Yes.
by accident.
By
But it's
accident.
just because we own the same frequency.
Exactly. When you're in alignment, it just happens.
When you're in
Because I was
alignment.
telling them before, I was
Yes.
like, guys, I'm running late, like, da da da. And the second they were, oh, it's chill. Like, you can take your time. I changed my whole outfit. I had a denim
See?
look, all of this. And I was like,
See?
something about this doesn't feel right. And then I kept looking at this dress. And I was like, no, but that's like a date night dress. And I was like, okay, but why can I date myself during this
Period.
podcast?
Yes.
No shade.
Period.
And why can I date y'all during this podcast?
Period.
Like, why does
Yes.
dating have to be
Exactly.
romantic all the time?
Exactly. And
Let's
I
make
put
this
out.
fun.
No, I'm kidding.
You okay?
I'm playing.
Take night dress to me. This is one episode that you need to watch. I feel in my bones. This is going to be an episode you need to watch instead of just
shade.
listening. So
Period. But going back to what you were saying, because you're talking about like, oh, should I wear this dress? It's like, wear the thing. Don't wait for a special occasion to wear something that you want to wear, because we do that a lot of the time. We'll have a nice bottle of wine on the shelf and be like, oh, I'm going to pop this. I'm going to save this for like a special occasion. And we just end up waiting. You
Yeah.
end up waiting. And then the next time you know, you go to open that bottle or something like that, and it's just like, you just enjoy it now.
Yes.
We here right
1000%.
now.
Live in the moment.
Like,
Live in the
for
present. That's why even when you
real.
called, I was like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. The episode we're meant to
Exactly.
have is going to be here. Excellent entrance, like fashionably late. She's like, but fashionable. She said
But
fashionable.
fashionable.
But fashionable.
Fashionable.
Exactly. And we
Classy,
even
a
got the
lady.
bangles right here.
Hello?
Yes.
We just had to take them off for the sound.
Exactly.
But no, they here.
They here.
The artistry.
And they're going to be with me forever. This is part of my branding. You hear me before you see
Yes.
me. Don't let them know your next move.
It's like, actually, I will, because what are they going to do to stop me?
Exactly.
It's like, I'm
Actually,
coming.
let me put them on. No. What y'all gonna do?
Like, what is this?
No, what's she saying? I'm like, resistance. This is about resistance. Clink, clink, clink.
But actually, speaking of dressing up,
Exactly.
I did want to talk about the Amari Gala, because we also have a previous
yes.
winner.
Oh,
If I'm not mistaken, was it Performing Artist of the Year?
Yes, 2024.
The inaugural year. The
gosh.
inaugural year.
So crazy, and I'm so grateful. Shout out to Amari and like all the people that
Yes.
have contributed to creating a platform to be able to celebrate us. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you. And I'm honored to be one of the first nominations for like something as big as this.
Yeah.
And you know, to be so backed up by my community, but the majority of the votes coming from people who look like me.
Yes.
People
We gotta
who walk
celebrate
the same
ourselves.
path. Yeah,
We
you
gotta
know?
celebrate ourselves.
And it was just so amazing. Yeah, so full circle, and then like seeing how it's progressed over the years. The fashion, I'm like, no shade.
Oh.
that
This
is-
needs to be global. Y'all need to start. No
It's-
shade, because people are going to start flying in for this. I already see it.
Just to explain for those listening at home or in their cars or wherever you're at, The Amari Gala is a celebration of Black excellence here in Melbourne. And it's people from all over. People at our table, there's somebody from Nigeria, and then people from Congo, and then South Africa, and like they're just from all over, like the entire diaspora. And it was just a beautiful celebration. Ri'chard and I attended this past Saturday, and we showed up on time. We showed up on time, which is miraculous for myself. Yeah. Because usually I'm like, oh, I'll just roll up whenever. But no, 6 o'clock on the dot, we were there. Our homeboy from Nigeria was also at our table as well. And it was just the three of us and nobody else showed up. And then we had to play the game of like, how long do we wait until we eat the other people's food? Because they weren't there. They weren't there. I don't mean to scream, but how long do you wait until you start to eat the food? Because
I let my stomach be a second grumble. I was like, you know what?
It's looking real nice.
It was. The bread was hitting, and then our Nigerian friend was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get one." I'm like, you know what? Don't mind if I do.
Exactly. Yoink.
Yep.
It started at 6. There was cocktail hour. We sat down at 7. We were sitting there. 7:30 rolls around. These people still haven't come by, and we were just like, all right, we just gonna go ahead and eat their bread.
Yeah, they brought the appetizers out already. I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're not here.
And so we started eating off of their plate, and then wouldn't you know, at like 7:45, these people show up, and then it's like I was like, oh. Somebody came by and ate your bread. I tried to stop them.
I
said, don't do that.
I said, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Knowing good and well I had crumbs on my face.
Right. I hid my plate under my other plate, and I'm like, she went that way, officer.
Yeah, right over there.
I would have been like, I'm actually one of the cleaners, and they invited me to come and sit. I watched this, and I can tell you,
I tried
to stop them, and they didn't.
Stop them.
You know how our people are sometimes.
Right. Just hungry.
We hungry.
I'm so sorry. If you have headphones on, maybe turn it down.
Yeah, no shit. Turn your volume down because it's
sorry.
real loud.
This is
sorry.
gonna be
Sorry.
Yes.
What do we apologize for?
Exactly.
You can
Oh no!
adjust.
I was like, tell them to adjust. Lower your volume because it's gonna be a loud
Exactly.
one.
I'm not shrinking myself.
Shout out to the eardrums.
Food aside, it was gorgeous just to be there because, as we were saying earlier, whenever we started the podcast, it was just like, this is a fun thing, but to be recognized by our peers, like, oh, hey, you guys do the podcast, I love your work. I'm like, never seen this person in my life. And they know who we were. People like asking to come on the show, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And just seeing everyone in as you're saying, the outfits, seeing people be celebrated for themselves.
Fashion was top tier.
And the accidental networking, just finding out who else is doing what in the industry. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And even at our own table, like, it was just a room full of Black excellence, and I was just so...
Yeah, we even had the mayor of Maribyrnong at our table. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but he was really lovely because he was one of the presenters. And then one of his aides, her name was Susie. Shout out to Susie. She was seated at our table. She was very, very lovely. She got a shout out from the mayor on stage. And I was like, oh, so you somebody. You didn't even tell me, Susie. But she was cute.
No.
She was cute. It was
Love
really
you, girl.
lovely.
No, don't know you, girl, but I love this too, so I love you, girl. No.
Yeah, she was really sweet. It was really wonderful. It was just a nice time because, going back to the dressing up thing, you don't always get to get dressed up that much anymore, especially in a city like Melbourne where things are very casual, very, very casual. So I was really excited to get dressed up and then cut up with my new cousins.
Hello.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Hello.
It's all about having a good time.
It is. It is. And like, congratulations also with being able to just be there and like experiencing it. Because was that your first Amari?
Yes, it was.
Attendance? Yeah, that's amazing. Like,
it was.
And because I know how much it did for me just being there, and I haven't been there since I first was there. But even just the impact, because I really want to come the next year. But it's like every time I plan it, I always have something during that time frame. Like,
Booked and busy.
Yeah.
Booked, busy, and blessed.
You know what I'm saying? Hence the nomination and the award.
And the award. And the win.
Straight to the girls.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Moment of silence.
Yeah, exactly. No, we put some chimes. We put a little extra razzle dazzle.
I love it. Just congratulations. And I'm really proud of y'all. And this is what you deserve. Like, even y'all talking about like the networks, that was the thing for me too, because I was able to understand the people behind the people behind the people that I work for, and then knowing all of the backstage work and meeting your Effies and like, within the industry. Oh my goodness,
ended up winning that night.
You are brilliant.
Yes, very brilliant.
You are
Hard
brilliant.
worker.
And I just shout out to you, like Blueprint, no shade. Thank you for everything you do. Like for real, no, seriously. And had not gone to Amari, I would have not come across an incredible woman as herself, and then understanding like the years and the layers of work that she's done to be able to like make us visible. Like she is part of the legacy I'm also creating for myself, but the legacy we as Black women in Oceania as a whole are creating within the entertainment industry and just any industry that we're in overall. And it's beautiful to be able to have those moments where you can connect with those people and then you're like, wait, that's me. And you're me and I'm you and
Period.
we're here together and I didn't know we could exist and this all exists and it's just it's very eye-opening, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, because it's not even about being in competition with each other. It's about having the chance to celebrate each other
It's very
and
much
like
being in
lift each
community
other
with each
up
other.
in an Australian society where a lot of the time we're invisible.
Yeah.
Like
Just
what we're even doing.
dismissed.
Or dismissed or they're not even checking for us. I mean, like, yes, we will still fight for that visibility among the majority, I suppose, but it's really important that we celebrate ourselves and celebrate our community and celebrate the effort that we are putting in to rise to that next level. It's important to celebrate each other.
Yes, and to even add to that, I think it's the importance of simplifying it back down to Black people even just being able to have a space to say, yeah, I did this, and 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 I did this. I also did this, and I did a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
And having a space where there's no criticism, no ego involved, no, oh, you think you're all that, no past traumas or identities attached to it. It's who I am today, right now, present, in this moment, sharing the joy and the process and the journey of the becoming of who I am today.
Yes.
And now that you mention it, I don't even think tall poppy syndrome was in the room.
That's what
I don't even think tall poppy syndrome was in the room with us.
and that's how I know tall poppy syndrome in Australia and Oceania overall ain't got nothing to do with Black people.
Ain't got nothing to do
and
with
I've
us.
been saying this.
Hey,
That's all shade.
it ain't us. Y'all need to check yourselves.
1000%. Before we get too far off topic, because we have a lot to discuss, I wanted to go right down to the musicality of it all.
Yes.
Because we have our Diva draft pick, and the album of this week is Control by SZA.
Exactly. Has it been 10 years since that album came
Yep,
out?
damn near. I think it came out 2016, 2017. So where were we when we first heard it, whether it was at the launch or if you discovered it later on? We'll go down the line and then we'll hop into the picks and I'll explain how the game goes.
Okay.
Yeah. It was probably one of the albums that I actually was there on time for it. I was living in Hoboken. That was like big during my Twitter days. Everybody kept talking about this album on Twitter and they're like, man, Control by SZA, because SZA has been around for a while.
Yes.
She was around before that, but I wasn't familiar with what it was she was doing. So this album was my introduction into her. And you know how sometimes it is when they're just like, oh, this is so good. This is really, and you like, let me go listen to it. I guess it's all right. No, the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is actually a really fantastic album. Like, I really loved it. I love her cursive singing. I love the way she pronounces stuff in Stories Day. Like, I love all of it. I love it. No, shout out to SZA.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Rock, Paper.
Yes. I am so sorry. I'm going to enjoy watching this back so much.
We're gonna be singing. We're gonna be talking in cursive. I swear. They're like,
We're going to be talking in cursive.
Cursive. Yes, so my favorite song now on the album. Love it.
But that's where I was. Where were you? So, yeah.
So I would have been like 15, 16.
All right, stop. Cancel. The episode's canceled.
of course, my wheelchair is here. Let's go.
Nah.
Stop it. I was breastfeeding. No.
I just took my first steps, actually. But go on.
Out the womb.
Just ready.
But yeah, specific songs mean a lot to me because it's so clear in my mind where I was at. I remember around this time, this is a year 8, year 9-ish, kind of, I believe. And I was in the process of the becoming. When it comes to me being a dancer and an artist as a whole, like, this is not just 5 years of me putting myself out there. This is 23 years, almost 24 years of work. And that was also the era where I was in, and I would be watching these music videos and be like, oh my gosh, she is incredible. Like, who is this woman? And really connecting to the musicality and then understanding how that is translated in movement, seeing other choreographers pick apart the album and creating their own understanding of what the song means to them. So that's kind of where I was developing those skills, but I didn't know I was doing it because I was just obsessed with like learning from other people, listening to new music, and SZA was just one of those people for me at the time. I was like, girl, off topic to the album, but that song Quicksand, girl, had me on a chokehold from like year 9 all the way until I graduated, to this day, to be honest. From that album, I was able to get into songs like Quicksand and all these other things.
Because lyrically, because she may sing in cursive, but she writes in it too, because she's so descriptive.
No, it's true,
I'm
though.
trying to bring it back. Trying to bring it back around. Lyrically speaking, where with other I guess we'll throw her in the pop category. Like it's like pop R&B.
Yeah, I thought it, like it was like an alt R&B, like it created the subcategory. I think she was one of the pioneers of the alt R&B movement, and I was like, I love it because again, in general, I love when Black women are just allowed to be because there's always like, oh, you have to be this, you have to be pop, you have to be R&B. It's like I'm gonna be SZA, and you see that in the song. So there's so much range. Her later albums as well, but this one is just like I'm this, but I'm also this, but I'm also this, and it was such a raw, emotional, vulnerable album. I was like,
very vulnerable,
and it was like making me unpack things I just had put in boxes myself, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, actually,
totally.
I did feel that.
Because where were you at when you heard it, Ri'chard?
So I was actually a little bit late to this. So shout out to my sister Winter.
Oh, shout out to Winter!
My sister was an early adopter. She was like, you need to listen to her. You need to listen to her. And I'm like, yeah. Like, and then I sat down. I'm like, oh shit. It was actually really funny. I fully got into Control, unfortunately, at the start of lockdown. So I was like 3 years late to the game, and it was like we had nothing but time listening to music, and I was already emotional because of global experiences and then hearing the vulnerability of all things. Yeah, that was 6 years ago. It just rocked me, and I on repeat. And then a couple years later, she would do like a little teasers, and then obviously SOS came out in 2022.
Yeah.
So it was like that from 2020, 2022, I played that nonstop, and then she started dropping little songs, and I'm like, wait, when Good Days dropped in 2021, I'm like, oh, she's coming back. It rocked my foundation, and I am very, very happy that you picked this album.
Yeah.
The way this goes, we're gonna basically go back and forth. Did you go first last time, or did I go first?
I always thought the guest of honor goes.
Oh no, of course. The guest,
but then
after
between
us.
us? Oh.
I guess we can do rock, paper, scissors. So you'll pick your first one, and you'll explain why you picked it, what it means to you, or like why I needed this song. And then whoever goes next after us, and we'll all go pick two, and we'll post it on Instagram a week after the episode comes up, like who won, and people will fight in the comments and drag us for not picking whatever
their
obscure
fave.
song from the deluxe version that we didn't choose.
I think we're just picking from the regular, the original recipe.
The original
yes,
14.
The deluxe. I never needed no deluxe.
I didn't
know it.
know.
I didn't know we were talking about it. I'm like, I don't know her.
I know the deluxe cheeseburger. I didn't know there was a choice.
Woo! Let's get into that conversation.
Right.
Chris Brown, please stop with the deluxe. The album by itself is okay.
Just stop in general.
I love you.
Just stop
The
in
40
general.
songs in this album is okay.
Just stop. Because it's just like when you give me 20 songs of foolishness and nonsense, I'm like, I'd rather you just give me what I need, not something I didn't ask for.
Or release it
Exactly.
separately.
Yes.
Or release it separately.
Release it separate. It's okay. It's okay.
Which song are you picking first?
Yo,
I know. There's so many bangers. There's actually so many bangers on this album. It's a good problem to have because there's actually so many good songs on there. So knowing that, you actually can't make the wrong choice.
Okay. And also because I'm a Leo, so I'm always right. No.
Oh my God. Peak Leo.
No.
Peak Leo.
No, it's
energy.
Leo Stallion. Thank you. Okay, so it's hard because I'm looking at this also, and I can see all the different versions of me as I went through each song, and I can feel me in my room, and I was saying that, and when I was crying to this, about this is this, so it's all coming back to me.
Yeah.
I would say, I'm gonna be so real, that Broken Clocks was always doing that for me. I'm telling you, SZA, we know what we felt it from here.
Yeah, we know what you felt.
Yeah.
It was like a look.
Yeah.
It's an album full of looks. It's like, you know what, I felt that.
Yes, that's go off. Great.
Still book
great
me though. I
choice.
love you. Like book
Great
me. I'd love
choice.
to dance for you. But yeah, I'll start with that.
Great choice.
That is an excellent
Broken Clocks is
choice.
like an absolute
It's crazy.
absolute bop. And you know what? Now that I think about it, she was pretty bold for choosing Control to be the title of the album, knowing that Janet Jackson, like that was like Janet Jackson's Control, but she did the CTRL, like the computer.
Yeah,
But
Control.
I like the fact that she's coming into her own. She's talking about her own shortcomings. She's talking about her own vulnerabilities, where she's at a moment in time. This album is truly a time stamp because I know where I was when I heard it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I think that for me, it's back to what y'all were saying, where she's just so raw in herself, and you were able to meet the process of her becoming and understanding her artistry and merging her love for her music, but also adjusting to the industry and what the standards are, and then being a Black woman and understanding how that affects our work, our autonomy, all of these things. So that's why it had to be this album. I wanted to do the easy, Destiny's Child, that it would have been easy for me, but I think I had to go back to something that is so deeply rooted in my origin
When we made the list, it was going back and forth with what albums that we knew well enough to be like, oh yeah, I could just easily grab things on. But I'm really glad that album resonated with you because it absolutely resonated with us as well. Shall we rock, paper, scissors it?
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay.
I'm going to be the referee.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. So every
You're
time we
gonna
do
talk
it,
in cursive now because you did this.
I was like, so anytime there's a draft pick, I make a list of like 6 that I would love to get in any order.
Yeah.
But Broken Clocks was my number 1 pick. So when you did that, I just felt the dagger straight in my heart. However, there is another song that will always, always, always be played on repeat for me, and that's Drew Barrymore.
Yes, so good. Yeah, for sure.
And like with
Get the
I can wait to
But is that so hot that
She's gonna think you thinking. Says you're gonna think that we're making fun of you.
We're not.
We're
We
not.
love
This is all
it.
love.
Admiration. This
We
is love.
love it.
I had to
Like,
yoke up the mic right quick so you know that I'm doing this.
Yeah. No shade. Like, sister, you are carrying.
Everything.
You are doing it for the
Genuinely.
girls.
Everything.
Yes.
You know, Drew Barrymore, like, first of all, I love Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
Obsessed. Drew Barrymore wasn't the first SZA song that I heard, but it was the first one that I attached to. Like, I won't say any other ones because that may be chosen by somebody else. But when I was making my list itself, it was like, what do I resonate with right now? Because when I first heard it, emotional back and forth. Because sometimes you hear about a broken heart song, like, I'm not broken hearted. I don't relate to you right there. I can't connect. But sometimes Drew Barrymore is just
It's timeless.
It's timeless. Thank you. It's timeless.
Good. And I love the fact that she picked Drew Barrymore because kids nowadays probably know Drew Barrymore because of her talk show. But she actually comes from a legacy of actors. And in her heyday, I mean, like Charlie's Angels was very formative for me. That was a very important movie to me. And there was other movies that she did as well. She was like a 90s girl.
She was a child actress. She was in E.T. She was the sister in E.T.
Yeah, she was in E.T. and then she went to rehab maybe when she was like, I don't know, maybe like 13 years old.
Absolutely.
Because she partied. She comes from like a legacy of actors in her family and everything. And then she got into the industry and you know how child actors do and how tough that must be. She's gone through this renaissance. It's like metamorphosis and everything. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Drew Barrymore. She's a cool white girl. She's somebody who I'd like to kick
She's a
it with.
Pisces. She likes to stand. She likes to stand out in the rain. She's got to go stand out in the rain. Like she's
like,
a resilient.
Just stand in the rain.
Yes.
I love it. She just seems like a free spirit to me. So clearly don't know her from a can of paint, but she always seems like she had a cool vibe. Okay.
100%.
So
Do you need the list again?
no, I know exactly what I'm going to be picking off rip.
Cavalry.
Because this album is really, really good, but obviously when this girl was talking about doing a timeshare with a man, and she was like, Wednesday,
the guy.
Thursday, and Friday, I just keep it satisfied through the weekend. Hey, do like 9 to 5 on the weekend. Make it lose your mind every weekend. Then you do the Friday. Like a custody battle. Like she was just like, no, you take him through this. Because my man is her man, her is her man too.
Listen, we can both exist, but this is the boundary.
Okay, she's like, listen, hey, this is a grown-up conversation.
That's
Hello.
community.
Like, I
That's
know what
community.
it is.
That's community. For real. That is communal. That's how you build.
Listen,
You're
hey,
honest.
rather than be upset, let's just have a discussion
Yeah.
about what the
Discussion.
parameters
Like, listen,
Yes.
I'm
are
happy.
going
You
to
happy?
be.
Like, we
Yes.
don't. Like,
I'm happy with 2 days as long as it's a weekend. It's
Yeah.
cool. You can have them every other day.
Listen, I'm glad she wasn't fighting. She's just like, listen, this is some community thing. We're just going to be civil about it.
and that's going to be community service. Like,
and come out to an agreement. And so I was just like, oh, I haven't heard it talked about like that before. But the song itself was so massive. And the album was already really great. But when you have a single so strong like that, it became its own thing. Shout out to The Weeknd.
very much. I agree. Yeah,
Love The
that's
Weeknd.
a solid pick. Again, like you said earlier,
There's bops.
bops on bops.
Bops
Like,
on bops, Your Honor.
it's like, which ones do you decide are you going to represent you?
I also just wanted to quickly say I had no business singing all them damn lyrics being.
I get
Hey,
it.
what am I talking about?
I get it.
The weekends are for homework, girl. What?
Yes,
Girl, well, let's Chantal. Nah, reel it in, mama. This is tough.
I know this is your second pick, so this is your last
Yeah, it's your
pick.
final one. So
And there's still plenty of bops to choose
That's what
from.
I'm saying.
Still plenty of bops to choose from.
You know what? I have to be so real. Normal girl.
Oh, man.
no
You know
shade.
what? I get that. I'll
I
never
wish
be
you
a
know
normal
I'm a
girl.
girl.
Oh,
Hey,
my
That
gosh.
just
Oh.
spoke to me in so many ways, especially that period in life where it's year 9. So I just finished nap plan, y'all. I got out of the shackles of nap plan. I'm going into this
Nap
thing.
line? What does this mean?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, are we forgetting other stuff? It's like a series of tests from different subjects, like an hour and 30 minutes or like 2 hours.
Okay, it sounds like AP courses.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
It almost sounds like the SAT test.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know too much on this. Because I used to hate it so bad. Like I just didn't even. I'd get me out. Oh my God, my teachers. But it would basically look like how your VCE tests or exams would look like. You know, it kind of set you up for that, and you would do them every 2 years. So it'd be like year 7. Year 9. I think we did it. I think it starts year 3 and then it goes year 5, year 7, and year 9. And then you tend to your break and you're like, yes, living, fun, flirty, sexy, yes. And then year 11 hits and it's like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Is that VCE? Am I going to take down this route? Or is it going to be VCAL? Is it going to be a diploma? Or like, am I going to be doing like all this stuff?
It's
like,
crazy how we're so young and having to decide what we're going to be doing
for the rest of our lives.
Exactly.
But if there's any young people out there listening, you can make that choice and then your life can take you a different way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and you can change your mind.
But why does this song make you think of that?
Because I remember constantly thinking about, I just want to dance, bro. Like, I just want to dance. I just want to do it all the time, everywhere. I want to connect with people. I want to be able to reach people who don't have access to dance, because that was also my story. And I've been privileged enough to be able to have some sort of access. However, there's people who don't have access to this, and it's transformative. I had to compromise this one thing that felt so right in my heart from the moment I took my first breath. You know what I mean? I felt like I wasn't normal, and at that time, I wanted to fit in, because when people were questioning why I wanted to do that and were saying that's not sustainable or like, you know, it's not stable, but
that's not aligned with who I am.
Yes, I internalized it with my character. And then I felt like I wished I was a normal girl, but it was the chorus that always stuck with me, that specific chorus. Even thinking about this album, I just kept normal girl. I wish I was a normal girl. And I remember screaming that in my room. Being like, I wish I was normal, bro. Like, girl, you were not normal. You are fat.
And do you really want to be normal? Like, it's a little boring.
It's
At that
very
age, we did though, because when you stand out, that's the tall poppy syndrome all surrounding you. If I was like them, if I looked like them, if I dressed like them, if I had the money, the access, they look like they're having a good time.
Yes.
In reality, they weren't. But
They weren't.
we thought so. Being like an outsider, be like, look on the outside the window looking in, and normal girl is such a fantastic choice.
Yeah, great choice.
Yeah.
Because, that's real vulnerable.
Yeah.
It cuts deep.
No shade.
All right, Ri'chard, what are you going with?
Oh, there are two that I was like, how do I round this up? Because like my first pick being Drew Barrymore, it's hot, it's good, it's fire. I am picking this one because I love anytime that they feature together.
Okay.
And it's going to be Love Galore.
Oh,
Like,
good. Because down with these niggas.
Down
with these niggas. Yes.
Dust off these niggas.
Do it for fun, please. You're young. Just do it for fun.
Don't take it personal.
Personally, I'm surprised you call me up the things I said.
Skirt on niggas.
No! This is Bible.
No, because truly, like, when you realize that you were that bitch, like, actually, I can though.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is my life. I'm gonna live it when you're single, especially during lockdown. In between this album and the next one, I end up being single, and it's like being like, oh, actually, I am that bitch. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And imagine being so bad that like, I'm surprised you called me after the things I said. I'm like, oh, you're back? All right, let's run it back.
Yeah, run it back. Let me remind you again. Done with these niggas.
Every time. We're going to keep that. I put
on your neck.
Act right.
Thank you.
I'm not really a big Travis Scott person individually, but I actually really like their voices together.
Me too.
It's like a nice melodic song, and like even with Open Arms in the next album, so good. Like them working together, so
Beautiful
good.
collaboration.
Incredible.
Keep it
That's
up,
low key
guys.
her work husband. So
But we're not trying to start nothing like, girl, please.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, don't.
No
don't.
shade, Travis, love you down. Sister, don't do that.
Yeah.
Nicole, how are you wrapping it up for us?
Man. Oh, man. And you know me, I usually love picking the first song because I always feel like the first track of an album is really, really important. So Supermodel is something that I love, but I don't think I'm going to pick it at this very moment. But it's such a good taste for the introduction of the album. But okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this song because this is the song that I kept circling back on it when I was listening to this. Down for the ride.
Yeah,
down for the ride. I can
take it anywhere.
Do you even know I'm alive? Do you even know I do?
Wait, what's the name of this song?
I'm alive. It's anything. Maybe I should pray a little harder. I think I'm gonna go with anything because I do. It's probably not the most popular pick, but it's the song that I really love because it was between that and then Go Gina, which I really love Go Gina as well.
Go Gina.
But anything was the song that I was really wearing out. And then it said the bright ideas. We got bright ideas. Bright ideas. We got bright ideas.
Yeah. That's right. Not just bright, $1 million ideas.
It's like I
Sister,
love
you
it.
raised us.
I love it. There's like so many different parts to the song because I love a little 2-part song.
Yeah.
I love a song that you're kind of like, what?
No,
You know?
genuinely. Like you're saying, all R&B or whatever you want to call it, like, Sis is like, I'm just going to do what feels good. And it just jumps back and forth, but it all still flows. So.
It makes
Still flows.
sense.
It all still flows, but that song,
Exactly.
it kind of sticks out in a different way, but I really love it. But there's just so many great songs on this album. You could have picked almost anything, but so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick what I genuinely love, which is anything.
Just to recap, I have chosen Drew Barrymore and Love Galore.
I have chosen Broken Clocks and Normal Girl.
And I chose The Weeknd and Anything.
All right, so as usual, hop on our Instagram when this is posted and shout out who you think won, what song we should have picked, and why Go Gina should have been the obvious choice, allegedly. Y'all have your own opinions. Y'all know what you can do with them.
Yeah.
Yes, Andre.
You came with that.
I did.
And I was like, y'all know. Nah. Nah, jokes.
What we like to do with our guests is to give your origin story. If you grew up in Melbourne, if you're born here, moved here, etc., and then what led you into your craft, and then we'll just kind of riff and waffle and then just see what happens until they kick us out.
Amazing. Love it. I'm so excited. So I was born in Syria, Damascus, and then me, my mom, and my father moved to Egypt, and then my little sister was born, and I was in Egypt for some time. I don't remember the move or anything to do with Syria, but I do remember a lot of Egypt. But just for context, my family was just traveling around trying to figure out like where to settle down. So originally they were all from Juba or Khartoum, still understanding the story. But from speaking to my grandpa, he was telling me at the time, him and grandma were traveling around and they were taking my aunties, my uncles, my mom, and everyone bit by bit as they were trying to figure out a place to settle. And everywhere they were going, they were getting rejected. And then, so it was so annoying. So
that's that part of immigration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My mom and dad had me in Syria, and then because they were so in love and all this stuff, they were staying in Egypt with the rest of the family, but the rest of the family went back home in Khartoum to be able to just sit and do their thing. So they decided to stay and settle and figure it out in Egypt with me and my sister. And then, fast forward, we got the call that we were able to come and move to Australia.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, my mom's name is Helena. My grandpa was like, Helena, let's go. Like, it's all done. Da, da, da. She's like, yeah, I'll come. Just give me, like, a few weeks. She never showed up.
Dang!
So we stayed.
I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm just jumping out the shower.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Let me put my shoes on. I'm just getting my keys.
I'm hitting out the door.
Yeah. So we were supposed to move, but they ended up staying there. I still need to understand the depth of that. But the rest of the family moved to Australia. So they were already here. And then we ended up moving to Australia 2009. I think it was April. So I was around like 6, 7. No.
Yeah.
And, sorry. I need to let that go. If you are my sibling, I'm so sorry. I love you. Shout out to y'all. Oh my God. Anyways, fast forward. I was around that age and came to Australia. And it was such a culture shock because, like, I remember it was so sudden, like, trigger warning, but I'm going to take a moment to be vulnerable as well. The situation that led to us moving was my parents splitting because they had really deep issues where it was just not healthy for them to be with each other.
Toxic,
it was very toxic.
Yeah.
I'm doing my thing in Egypt, whatever. Wake up one day, bags packed, mom's crying, saying bye to her best friends. I'm trying to tell what's going on. She's telling me like, oh, like we're just going on like a short little trip, Okay. I'm sleeping, I wake up, I'm at this big ass place, I don't know what it is, and then it's like the airport, but at the time I didn't know what it was. And then now I'm on this plane, I'm looking at everybody, I'm like, who are all these people? Like it was all of this, I just did not know what's going on.
So you didn't have like a prep time.
I was young too,
you were young too.
I was like 6, so I didn't even have that like capacity to understand what was
Fair
going
enough,
on.
But you still would have been like, oh man, this is like
It's a big.
this is crazy.
You can understand the gravity to some extent.
I just didn't know what was going on, like very confused. When we pulled up, and we got in the taxi or the Uber, whatever it was at the time. It would have been taxi because I don't think Uber was a thing around that time. But when we were like going through the city, I was like, is this New York?
Oh.
No. Is this what I've been seeing in like the
Bless,
TV?
bless,
Because I used to watch
yeah.
like TV at home and watch the American TVs and all this stuff, as well as all the Arab shows. But just seeing them in the city and them doing stuff, I always wondered what that looked like. Because not to say that Cairo wasn't like that, but it was just so different.
Yeah,
That I fully thought I was in America. And then, obviously I realized this ain't America.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem or anything. It's just to say, like, I
Yeah.
realized very quickly this is not what I thought it was. And then I was trying to understand it. Pulled up, got to my grandparents' house, grandparents I haven't met. And then when I was younger, all of my aunties, uncles, and their kids would live with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So it was a household full of like 20, 30 plus people. And it was beautiful because although for the first time when I met them, I was actually kind of scared because when I got in the taxi, I believe I was with my uncle. I got split up from my mom and my sister somehow. I don't know what happened.
Oh my God, in a new country?
So yeah, I just didn't know what was going on at the time because I was so like, oh my gosh, like lights, I didn't process that. So when I got home and then all these people are telling me, I'm your this, I'm your this, and I'm like, I do not know you.
Yeah, these are words to me.
I'm like, huh? And they're telling me, I
'cause you
changed
have
your
no
diaper.
relation,
Oh, I hate that. I
Yeah,
hate
you know
that.
what I'm saying?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would I care about that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What? Like,
I guess.
I'm potty trained? No. What the hell do
I
you
actually
now?
got my situation
I got
together.
myself
we
handled.
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. You never ask a lady
But
that.
yeah, it is also like the older, I feel that urge when you see someone, you knew them when they were a baby, but
Yeah.
you're just like, I knew you when you were in your mama's tummy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I don't know you.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you don't know me now, so either
don't
get
know
to
me
work
now.
or
Like
get to
what?
step in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no shade, they got to work because it was so beautiful growing up in that household and having access to so many parents and so many different versions of them. Like my uncles were mad fun. Our memories growing up here was always us having dance battles. Or I would put on like
cute.
dance performances, me and my sister, because we did ballet at the time. My mom's a baddie, no shade.
Love
She
it.
is OG video vixen to me. Like she's the reason why I show up the way that I do and dress up and everything. But her being so young spirited and everything, especially around that time, she would always film us doing stuff and she would always make me dress up and take these fab outfits, like very Nollywood coded, like kind of like vibe. And
Love
then
it.
she would
Love it,
film
love
on
it.
her MacBook and play Rihanna's new albums at the time that were coming out. Like, what was the song? Rude
before
Boy.
she
She's
sold
playing
panties.
Rude Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's playing Rude Boy and then she'd record on her laptop and she'd be like, just dance. And I'd be like,
I
come on, Rude Boy.
With the slapping.
But
Yeah.
I'm telling, I have the video. I have to show you.
Oh my God,
you can even
please.
reference it. Like
So-
it is.
So that's great. So that was your introduction into art, essentially.
I
It's like your mom
guess.
would make you perform.
Yes, even
so
back
cute.
home, it was very much that. Like me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. I have so many memories of us being in the lounge room and the Beyonce's playing, or like MJ's, Chris Brown, like 2000s,
yeah.
90s, like that's my
Yeah.
love. They played a lot of slow jams, man, like the
Bring
Akons,
back the
everything.
slow
Like
jam.
so, it was just us in the lounge and always dancing. Dance was always a big
Yeah.
thing, and they would always encourage me, Chantal, dance, and then they would go at it too. Like dance had
Mm.
always been something that is so big to me, and it's been communal for me. You know what I mean? And like, cause it's given so much to me. Oh my gosh, let me get emotional. Lol. It's given so much to me. Hence why I always have to give back in any capacity that I have to it, because it's just transformed my life. So it's always existed within these dynamics within my family. Just dancing, and then we play like games with my uncles, like GDA and Call of Duty. They're teaching me how to play and all this stuff, like FIFA. And I'm learning English in the midst of all of this because I came with the thickest, heaviest accent, and I was very, very articulate when it came to Arabic. Like spoke it very fluently to the point where the dialect that I spoke, they didn't understand it. So there was even communication barriers there. I remember my grandparents or uncles and aunties just laughing because they're like, bruh, you're so tapped in with this. Like, and I don't even know how to respond to you because I don't even know some of the things you just said. You know what I mean?
so funny.
Because their version of the Arabic that now I speak, because I've grown into it, is Adabi Juba, which is a watered down version of Arabic.
I'm almost envious of being able to move to another country, but then having a network of people kind of already there who are meant to look out for you.
Yeah.
That's like,
And it was so like,
that's beautiful.
it took time to adjust to it, of course, but it was so reassuring for me because I feel like from the moment I was born, I always knew who I was.
Ooh, I know that's right.
No
Go
shade.
off.
30
Love it.
minutes after sitting in that room and everyone being like, I know you, da-da-da, and then like my mom came back and I was like, okay, I feel regulated. I feel like I am starting to trust and get comfortable with these people. And Love is Wicked was playing by Brick and Lace on the TV.
Oh,
I got up and I started dancing, and then all of them started laughing, and then they started dancing, and I remember that because it was like the same night we landed and everything, and they were just like, oh, look, she's opening up, because before I was in my bubble, I was looking at everybody like, don't touch me, and I was crying. I was like, bro, where's my mom, where's my sister, bro? Like, I don't know y'all. Everyone's saying they know me. I felt like a lot, and then once my mom came, I was like, oh, I'm fine now. I was like, oh, I see how she's interacting with y'all. Y'all aren't lying. Like, you know, that's mama. Y'all actually connected, you know?
Yeah.
It was just really nice because I was able to step into myself whilst also having that network and the shielding. And it was really cool too because having more siblings who are actually my cousins, but it felt like siblings.
Oh,
It's like my
yeah.
sister.
Yeah, exactly.
And then some that are older than me, so I'm learning from them. And then some that are younger than me, all of that.
So awesome. So when it comes to your artistry, do you feel like you are, not that you have to just be one thing, but do you feel like you're a dancer first?
That is such a great question. I actually feel like I am a choreographer first.
Oh, come on now. Tell me what
okay.
to do. Boom, back to, ooh.
Get it. Girl, commercial break.
Exactly. We'll be back.
Yes. I feel this way because, like, my origin story is me watching Beyonce all the time and just choreographing to her or learning her choreography and mastering it. And I kid you, I did not play. The second that bell rang after school, go home, do homework, learn a little bit of English, and then cool. If my uncle was like on the computer, I'd wait for him to finish because we had one computer that everyone used, whatever.
The family computer.
Yeah, very much that. So when he would finish, whatever, or any of them would finish, I would go, music video, boom, boom,
I know
boom,
that's right.
and get straight into it.
The
I'm
music
learning
video.
it. Don't play with me.
Especially then, I feel so bad for kids nowadays that we're no longer in the music video era. Like, music videos are still being made, but it used to be...
It's
It used to be essential. It used to be essential to
closer
selling.
us.
the
It used to
videos.
be like, we even had making the video on MTV where you would see how they would shoot the entire video, and then at the end it would be the world premiere of the video, and it would be like an event almost. Now it's just like, oh yeah, have you seen that video? Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
We used to be the center of our culture because we used to like
used to be our
TRL, we
center of
used to
our
have
culture.
106 in Park, where it was like they would be like, hey, we've got Beyonce, letting you see the first video for the first time, not waiting to see it on YouTube, not being sent things. So it became less important especially when streaming was like took off. It's like, all right, cool, I can listen to one song, I'm good, I don't need the video because you're not getting actual money from me because I'm streaming.
If I'm being completely honest myself too, even on a creative level, people do not nowadays hold music videos to the same standard that they did back then, where people were constantly putting out new ideas, new visuals. They were trying out new, they were actually being artists and leaving something behind that will influence the next artist to do something, you know? And like that's why I would always watch Chris Brown, Beyonce, and MJ. Like, bro, when MJ died, I remember that was my first time experiencing grief.
It's so shocking. I know. I
don't even think I can like watch the movie because I'm just
Me
like,
neither.
I don't know what's gonna trigger.
I still
right
haven't.
now.
I've still yet to see This Is It because I know that this is the last thing I'm going to see of his because he was just so formative. Nowadays, it's hard to explain it because, to use some Gen Z slang, it feels like the kids are reheating nachos.
Hello?
Like, people aren't
Let's
being,
talk about
people
it.
aren't really being innovative.
No.
They're tapping into a nostalgia that I suppose it's theirs, but at the same time, it's kind of like you're borrowing your big cousin's nostalgia.
Yeah, the pants don't
because
fit.
you know it
'Cause
works.
it's a hand-me-down, but
You
the
know
pants
what
don't
I
fit
mean?
you.
Like 90s and especially early 2000s, like we were really living in the heyday of R&B and really good pop music because people were just trying new things and just throwing things against the wall and seeing what stuck. And it was a great time.
Yeah, it was
a
incredible.
good time.
Like, you just see like music videos nowadays and people are just putting together what they know will work. They're not pushing the boundaries. They're not fighting for something. It just feels like there's no longer a fight to fight for your artistry for you first and like make room for you. I think people are so caught up with this idea of the internet and like being able to have access to social media and it being an income and all these things. People are just doing what they have seen works to be able to like do that. And sometimes you do kind of need to do that, but then at what point does that artistry belong to you? You know what I mean? Because you're just copy and pasting. You're not really creating a new pathway through the other pathways that you have seen in the other doors and all these other journeys. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, so
taking, like, people don't really take risks anymore with their artistry, and I can empathize with the fact that it's probably to do with money. It's too scary to take a risk. I need to be able to pay these bills.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but at the same time, the biggest rewards come from risk.
yes.
You know what I mean? And
Give it the time it needs.
give it the
If
time
it's
it
gonna
needs.
take you 3 or 5 years to do that one fab music video you have in your head, or like the idea or the vision, whatever, that vision in itself is its own entity, and it deserves the time and the nurturing and like, you know, just it deserves the quality that it sees itself being birthed as. And I feel like people don't respect that, because I'm finding that people nowadays attach the idea to themselves, and it's like it belongs to me, not understanding that when it comes to creativity, it is a collaboration, and it's three-way. It's them up there, it's the idea, and it's you as a physical vessel helping these people bring this idea into real life. You cannot take ownership for that. I'm sorry. It's like giving birth to an actual child and being like, I own you now. It's like, yes, I have a responsibility to nurture you and to raise you, but I cannot own you. Be like, you're mine, you da 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 da. As in, like, how you grow up, you do.
You kind of have to, you have to be willing to be flexible with it. Because I love that you've talked about this, because we've done The Artist's Way, which is a book that talks about. I know. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. But you're kind of already talking about what's already there, which is that creativity is this spirit, and you have to let it enter, and then you put it out. But then some people get so protective about the art that they've created that they don't want any other input into it. They get angry if somebody else gets a different message from it. When in actuality, with communication, yes, you're responsible for delivering how you deliver the message. But you can't really control how people react to it.
I think the thing with this is, like, it's because as an artist, your emotions are so tied closely to your artistry.
Very much so. It's very vulnerable. It's vulnerable to create art.
Of course, yes, understanding that the idea itself, it's its own entity and it's its own spirit, but it doesn't take away from the fact that in the process of you getting to know this entity, it's also a direct mirror back to yourself. And how do you apply all of the experiences that you've had that brought you here today into this artistry, but also let it go at the same time? Because it feels like people hold on to the narrative a lot, you know what I mean? And the narrative, whatever that looks like, you know, I'm this, I'm that, you know, whether it's good or bad, the brand, all this stuff. So they want to attach themselves to these ideas. And it's like, no, because when you do this, ideas are less resistant to actually flow to you, because they can already understand you have a resistance against them, because you are not allowing them to become
too much rigidity.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why you have an idea, and then when you're trying to control it, it'll slip away and it just detaches itself. It's because that idea being its own entity is like, girl, bye. I'm not dealing with this. You are not listening to me. You're not trying to collaborate. You're telling me what to do.
On to the next
and I'm
person.
telling you who I am. I'm telling you who I am, and this is the end result. And I'm allowing you the space to figure out how to do that. But you're figuring out the end result and trying to change the render. It's like we don't have the same.
You don't have control.
Exactly. We don't have the same vision. So it's like, if you're not gonna let me go, I'm gonna let you go. That's very much that.
I love that. I'm dying to get into your journal, because you're a big journaler.
Yes.
Daily journals?
No. I remember I restarted properly. Like, this is my first one actually when I started last year, because I was going through a lot of turmoil, and I was not understanding how to process it. Like every other way that I would normally process my emotions and like my trauma and just things, triggers, all this stuff, it's just not working anymore. And it was things actively happening and progressively like worsening. So I was like, you know what, I think I just need to pick up a pen and just write everything, because I also didn't feel like I had
healthy coping mechanism.
And I just kind of felt like a lot of the things that I'm feeling, yes, I can speak to the friends and all of this stuff, but it's a lot. Like, the way I was raised and like being the incredible person that I am today.
Period. Period.
Oh my goodness. My mentors know my story. Like, close friends know my story of how I was raised. And I think like once I do find the courage to really be honest about what my growing up journey really did look like, you know, highs and lows as well. Like I think people will be able to understand why I am so big on gratitude and like, being gracious and being kind and showing up and all this stuff, but also on self too, and protecting that, because I've always known who I was, and then I've always had projections back to me being like, no, you're this, you're this, you're this. And I'm like, no, but I know who I am, so I'm not crazy.
for you, honey.
And then it was like
Good
flipped
for
to like,
you.
you're selfish and you're stubborn. You know what I mean? Like those were the narratives.
Dang, nah, because they're just
Yeah.
probably threatened by the fact that you knew who you were from such a
Exactly.
young age. And
That's what it
they're
is.
like, well, no, you can't know
Yeah.
who you are because I don't know who I am. So I
Exactly.
need to tell you
I need
that,
to
no,
get in the
you're
box.
this.
Get in the box because I'm in my box.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I hate a box.
Yeah.
I hate a box, and that's what it was constant thing, you know? And during the time of me starting this journal, it was when I was really pushing the box. This is after everything happening with the Amari Gala. I would never thought that I would have gotten an award for what I'm doing. Like, traveling to New York and getting accepted for like, Joffrey Ballet School and for the hip hop intensive and like being there, literally like they full scholarship, like full scholarship. Since I was able to go there for a year, all of the things I envisioned myself doing. Yes, they kind of made me a little bit uncomfortable because they pushed me to, I'm growing.
Because you're growing.
But I also always knew that I'd be able to do it. But then now that I did all of those things and I'm being asked to dare to dream bigger, that's terrifying me. And it's coming up with all of these things. And then I'm dealing with the projections of people watching me become who I truly am and stepping into my light. And that making them uncomfortable because although once upon a time we were both going like this in terms of our evolution, I continue to do this and you wanted to remain here.
Not everyone can come with.
And you know what I'm saying?
Not everyone
Because
can come
it's like,
with. Not everybody's going where you going.
No
and
shade.
unfortunately,
And that's what it
it
is.
truly is no shade.
Yeah.
But not everybody is on the same path that you are.
Exactly. That's what it is. And it's no shade. It's just an energy thing. Because it's like on an energetic level, if I talk about it vibrationally, I have two options. I can either come down to meet you at your level, so lower my frequency,
Lower it.
meaning
Dim
shifting
your
literally,
light.
shifting my internal
make
like
you feel
system,
more.
and then shift to meet you back to here. Or I'll wait for you to meet me, and I feel like
And then that's still,
yeah,
you're still
and
holding
I'm still
yourself
holding
back, waiting for
exactly.
somebody else.
Yes, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I gotta keep going, and I have to let go.
This is
And
my
you
bus.
must.
Sorry, this is
Exactly.
my bus. I got it. You can get the next one if
Yeah, exactly. I'm so sorry. This is my bus. I gave you the directions. I told you where I'm going. If you want to come, you can come. Like, I'm giving you all of the sources and all of the tools and stuff. But I'm here. I'm here to help you come with me. But if you are actively choosing against yourself,
Totally. And that's what it is, because sometimes people get threatened when they see somebody on a trajectory, like they're heading somewhere else and they don't think that they can do it. So they're just like, I'm just going to stay here where it's comfortable for me. I'm not going to move too much because they're too afraid to go to where you're at. And then you're holding yourself up, waiting for them to get themselves together.
because you want to do it together.
You want to do it together. And that's also your own thing when you're younger. You're like, well, I don't want to do this by myself.
Yes.
It's really nice to have somebody here with me.
Exactly.
But not everyone can come with you.
I'm so
just got to keep
sorry.
going.
And you keep relearning that every single time because even when you said that was in your journal, that was my experience when I first got here. I was supposed to move here with friends.
Yep.
One of them chickened out, which is fair. Like, it's a huge decision. The other one didn't have the finances. Like, well, I've already quit my job and I've already bought the ticket, so I got to go.
I gotta go.
And that helped me make these decisions. It never gets easier. You're always like, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And it's like, then you start going and it's like, oh, but I want to bring my people with me. Like, you can still love them. Those are still your people. And that's going to be, as long as you're still happy with that connection to continue, you don't have to be energetic in that space. You can still associate.
Yes.
It's not a I hate you, you're done. It's just I'm doing this.
Yes.
And it's like it is an I'm doing this. And like you said,
it'd be
being called
nice if you
selfish.
can come through.
I've been called selfish many times. I got to make sure I'm good before I can help other people.
No
Like,
shade. And that's the thing, too, because growing up as a parentified child as well, because I'm the eldest of 6.
Oh my God.
Let's break this
eldest
down.
daughter.
Like, y'all not even getting
Eldest
into my story for
daughters.
real.
Rise
I
up and
came here
ask
with
for help.
one sister, and now I have 5 younger siblings.
Yeah.
I have literally 4 sisters and a brother who I love, and literally everything I do is for them. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, yes, this is hard, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through, but I have to, because I cannot allow my story to stop here, because then that just kind of means that I'm showing my siblings that, you know, there is a
that's the
cap.
finish
There's a
line,
cap,
yeah.
and that's the finish line, and you can't push further than this boundary. No, you can always push the boundary. I am so sorry. Back to this journal, I was reflecting on the recent experiences I've been having, because the past 3 years of my life, the biggest theme has been relationships and me navigating how to grow and do what I do and be so honed into my artistry, because it's so connected to who I am, but also be able to sustain certain relationships and like water them, but then understanding the shifts that are happening in the midst of me stepping into my greatness. You know what I mean? And like how that changes the relationships around me, family, friendships, Yeah, it's been really, I've been grieving, because it's like,
challenging.
you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm
challenging.
watching in real time the shift, and I'm someone who's really great at pattern recognition when it comes to certain behaviors, and I know the result that it's going to happen, hence why I'm always so ready to help you because I'm like, I know where you're gonna go. You don't want to go there. Let's maybe redirect and look at other options. But some people are not ready.
Someone's
to
like,
do that.
I want to go that way. Like this is the way I feel like going. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know where this is gonna go, and you're gonna like, I don't
You're
want to.
not
I told
gonna
you
like
so.
it.
The
But
fact that you feel the need
Exactly.
to take the responsibility to help
That's the
somebody
savior
else.
complex in
Oh
me,
my
and that's like
God.
the way that I was raised.
also
like,
the oldest of
you
six,
know?
feel
Eldest
it in my
daughter vibes.
bones.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And so I was
Yep.
going through
Yep,
this
yep.
journal, just basically trying to understand how I feel. And it's really interesting because this is my journal from the 7th of May, 2025, which was a year ago from yesterday.
Yep.
And
Take us through it.
yeah, so in the page, like on one page, I've written stuff in red, basically expressing my anger and my discomfort with my relationship with people at that time in my life where I just kind of felt like I was not being seen and heard, and I was doing everything possible to actually make amends with things. You know, I was seeing the patterns shifting, and I was seeing people disconnect, and then people are experiencing things and going through things separately, but we're supposed to be community helping each other, and how can we protect this unit so that it can be a safety net for you to be broken and still have people show up for you. Whereas I was noticing that they were kind of repeating what I was also trying to break out of, but I'm also very easily trapped in, which is isolating myself completely from everybody when I'm going through it, and I'm blocking the world out because I cannot be seen. Yeah, I cannot be seen like breaking down because everyone is relying on me to carry.
Amen.
Hence why I always carry. But y'all do not understand the struggle when I am at home. That's why I'm so big on rest and relaxation. It just kind of shocked me because it was like I'm still experiencing this with certain relationships that at the time a year ago I wouldn't have expected it to shift into this. But it's basically a discussion of me coming to the realization of my greatness and my authenticity and power, and still being so deeply rooted in kindness and graciousness and like love may need to shift because it's creating this dynamic where people are now feeling entitled to my joy, to my happiness, to my blessings, to my energy, and to my to me nurturing them, but don't have the same energy when
For
it comes
you.
to sitting with me through my pain, through the confusion that birthed this greatness and this joy that you're able to experience. You're welcome. You know what I mean?
The
So
fact
it's
that we're
just
living,
like,
the three of us living, like I'm looking at Nicole, I'm looking at you,
Yeah.
like we're all living the exact same moment
what
at the
I'm
exact same
saying.
time. It's
Yes,
crazy.
It's like
That's what I'm
it feels like
saying.
people like it's like it feels good to be kind. I genuinely feel like it feels great to be kind, but people take advantage of it, and
Exactly.
that's the toughest part about being kind.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of it.
Yeah.
You saying they were entitled to
Not
that was
that
like
you're
I
not-
felt that because I helped you for these X amount of times. That's my setting. This is who I am to you. I am a tool.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not a person.
I'm not a
And
person. You're like dehumanizing me in the process. And it would manifest in the littlest ways where it really went over my head. But it wasn't until I was really reaching really dark points and I'm looking around and I'm like, where y'all at? And then I'm hearing people are aware that I am going through it. And it's like, oh, I hope she's okay. But no one is messaging
no
me.
one's checking
That
to see
is
if you're
such
okay.
a gag.
No
but
one's
then you're
checking
so
on it.
quick to reply, girl, you
Yes.
carried in Paris and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh, you carried in this, da, 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 da.
course.
I low-key really do hate when people put me on a pedestal. Like, I work just a regular hospitality job, and I don't like sharing too much about what I do because it shifts how people see me. And the second I'm put on that pedestal, people dehumanize me. And I always say to people, I'm not a celebrity. I know I'm a star, but I'm still human. And it's so big for people to understand this because I'm so big on knowing who Chantal is outside of dancing and all these things. I'm not Chantal the dancer. I'm Chantal Bala who dances. I also speak down. I preach, actually. Like, I'm also somebody who is a great nurturing person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm also somebody who does all of these things, yes, but it's not the core of who I am. Who Chantal truly is a childlike, loving, fun energy who just loves to just be in that space. Somebody who adores relaxation. I am the lion, honey. I will, if I'm not working, I will sleep. And I'm so
Take that
sorry.
nap.
You will gag.
The lioness naps.
I'm so yes. Hello.
The honk shoe.
Hello. Yes, before I go and hunt
Exactly.
again. Let me give y'all some time. No.
Exactly.
Let me give y'all some hiding spots before I step on your necks.
Not to reveal too much,
Yes.
but would you like to read us something from your journal, but
Yes.
whatever you're comfortable with sharing?
Yes, I'm going to skim through it because the one page was like the red and the anger. And then I read it to myself in third person. And I was like, if this is my friend coming to me with this, what would I say to them? Because I find that I'm really great 111 on that timer. Fact.
Period.
I'm really great when it comes to giving advice to people,
Other
but being able to
people.
pull myself out of my own emotions is hard. And this is why journaling was so important to me, especially in this season of my life where I'm really pushing the boundaries of who Chantal Bala could really be. Anyways, on the other page is the enlightenment. Pretty much it says, I think I just need to commit to talking to them and being read, because it's about giving myself the space to be myself, all in my mess, my authenticity, my rawness, my emotional stress, etc., etc. Because it's not a matter of, do you want to be in my life as my friend / family? It's actually about, this is who I am fully, and I don't plan on changing that because I love that version of me. Do you want to keep continuing this journey with me as I continue to be my full self, or not? Because regardless, I'm going to keep going.
Yes.
And then I wrote, I think I'm realizing that maybe the lesson in this is to claim back my power, because I keep robbing myself of it by shrinking myself and settling. I've lost so much of myself, lost so many moments where I could have celebrated me, lost so much time trying to be seen by people who clearly don't want to see me or who are not able to see me spiritually. Woof. Girl, I was going in.
Yeah.
You felt it.
And then I said, me being who I am is not an aesthetic. This is me. So, sorry, my writing is real messy. So I'm
That's
like,
okay, because I also understand when you're writing from emotional
You're feeling it. You're just like, get this out of me.
Yeah, exactly. You're just kind of like, get it out.
yeah, I love how authentic this is, because I'm like also processing as I'm saying this. Basically, I said, so no, maybe the conversation isn't about should I X, Y, and Z, because hell yeah, I should. I owe that to myself. When I silence myself to protect people from seeing how much they hurt me, I'm doing myself a disservice. I will use my voice, I will be clear, and I will say exactly how I feel with no filter or watering it down. I feel grateful now to be able to realize how much deeper this is for me. My heart and my throat kind of aches because I think I just need to say it. I think I also need to list down what I want to address as well to make sure that I stay rooted in myself.
Period.
So, yeah, it's basically me processing all of the emotions.
Ended on 1-4.
See, my angel, you see what I'm saying? It's deep, it's deep. And coming to that realization, even like reading that 2 days ago, it really gagged me because, first of all, Chantal, like, this is why it's important to keep things like this,
yeah.
because it's like,
It's a time
who would have
capsule,
known that me instinctively feeling the need to read the journal entry from today a year ago, because it's so crazy to me that I'm still, it seems like every year there's this theme whenever it hits the period between December all the way through to April and May-ish, I'm always going through a bunch of struggle with like personal stuff, and then it's like the clearing, and then from June forward, blessings, just blessings, blessing. I'm realizing that this is a pattern now, and I need to understand. Maybe it's something about like, you know, the way the energetically the world's set up and the astrology, all this stuff, but then also understanding that maybe it's also me needing to clear out things a lot sooner and maybe in bigger parts, but I'm just letting things slide too much, if that kind of makes sense. Like, and addressing it head on, because my issue used to be that I would hold my tongue back when I'd see little things, because I know where people are coming from and what they intend, and I would dismiss my hurt from it because I'd be like, but they didn't mean it, so it's okay.
Intent versus
Just, like,
impact.
feel
You always
it.
have to remember, like, you didn't mean to, but this happened.
Still hurt,
And let's work through it if you care about
Exactly.
the relationship. Absolutely.
Exactly. So just being able to deep dive into that recently was just such a big realization for me. And like, to give you context about where I was at that year specifically, this is where the breakdown of a lot of personal relationships were happening.
Man, tell me about it.
It was a
2025
lot.
was just, that year.
Yes, I was living at home, and at the time I felt very suffocated because, you know, being in a family home with a bunch of people constantly, and then also going to work with a bunch of people, I did not have my own space. And that's why rest and relaxation and pampering is so important to me, because it's so deep. Like, one thing about it, I will always be in a bathroom because I'm doing everything in there. I'm dancing, I'm singing, I'm doing my makeup, I'm watching a movie, I'm having a bubble bath. Like, these are things that really ground me, because it allows me to nurture myself and protect myself. I just didn't have that for the longest time. I was realizing around that time last year that this is going to be my 3rd or 4th year not having my own room. Shout out to my sister, love you down. When you're sharing it with someone who's similar age range or grown as well, it's very different. And, you know, the both of us, we shared different lifestyles, and how we were trying to show up for each other was kind of conflicting as well. And like trying to navigate that, because I'm like, I love this. I love her. And I know
It's
that
my
like
family,
how I'm
but-
showing
It's like,
up is not intentionally to like do X, Y, and Z.
But
It's just
you need
me
to
in
also,
distress.
like,
I
love.
need solitude, you
You
know?
need the solitude.
Yeah.
I would love to know what your self-care looks like. What is your number one favorite self-care activity?
Oh my gosh, a bubble bath and a face mask. I'm so sorry if I have a bad day, whatever. Like I am doing like, so the day would kind of look like pretty much what like yesterday was minus the bubble bath. But I had a work day and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to set up the space to feel like I'm still relaxing as I'm doing my admin.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like me clearing up the space. I was putting my incense, I was grounding myself, listening to podcasts, and then going back and actually tapping into my inner child right after receiving that information and watching cartoons and like, you know what I mean? Like grounding myself and then moving slowly is my biggest advice. Move slowly.
Yes.
Put on your clothes a little slower. Brush your teeth a little slower. Walk a little slower. Why are we rushing?
Why are we rushing?
You know what I
It's
mean?
that-
Why are you running to the Uber? Yes, the time is counting down, but they're still going to be there. Little things to not trigger your nervous system because it's already feeling dysregulated, you know, and you have to like bring it back to like the chillness. So like moving with ease and also letting myself feel everything because I'm so intense and I feel things so intensely as an empath and as someone who's very sensitive. That's my superpower. So I have to allow myself to just sit in that. And
100%.
yeah, that's what my self-care would look like. Aside from bubble baths in that as well. It's just like reflecting and doing the things that remind me of who I am. It also looks like me tapping out of social media and doing my deactivation. See y'all later.
Hey,
Love y'all
you
boots.
got to. I think there needs
Yeah.
to be. I think there needs to be a bit of separation with that.
Yes, 1000%. And for me, it's because I cannot appreciate this incredible life that I live if I don't also appreciate the simplicity of the life before I created this life for me. Going back to the little things like, you know, how good it feels to just watch a good show or like go for a really nice walk or being able to paint and do other creative stuff that is not me being of service to
it's not
people and
monetized.
tied
It's
to
not
what
a
my
requirement.
career. Yeah, I'm just doing it for fun, you know. When I get to a point where I feel really satisfied, they end up feeding into my artistry, you know, and they give me new insights. Like meditating on this group of ducks walking, and it manifests into a new style of catwalk for my Vogue Femme that comes in my head because I was just being present and observing and letting myself enjoy the simplicity of life and letting that inspire me rather than watching all of these clips of these people. What's this person doing? And and social media. No, it's okay, Chantal.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Go hug a tree.
Yes. Go hug a tree. Touch some grass.
Touch some grass.
Running low on time, but I do want to ask you, what does ballroom mean to you?
Oh my gosh. Ballroom is the reason I have become as exceptional as fast as I have. I feel like it fast-tracked everything because it literally requires you to show up exactly as you are and you have to hold your ground the whole way through and not care. Yeah, you cannot. You can't flinch because people will feel that. And if you're not sure of yourself, they're not sure of you. So they're not going to choose you or they're not going to vote for you. And for me, ballroom and dance is so intertwined, but just the ballroom in general, there's so many lessons that I've been able to learn within ballroom that I can also take into the real world, you know? Because if you first met me beforehand, I was even more shy than how I was. Yes, I always had this bubbly energy and I was always great, but I was a little bit more shy and I wouldn't really put myself out there. I was also very scared of tapping deeper into my femininity, especially with the way that I present, because of it being sexualized. And I think that as a black woman, like that's, you know what it is, like not to get too deep into it, but that is something that I grew up like also experiencing, you know what I mean? Like feeling like I couldn't choose to express myself how I want to by simply wearing something a little bit more on the femme side because it will be perceived in a certain way.
Yes, because they think that you're
doing it for someone else.
Peacocking.
You're sexualized by existing in whatever felt good that
That's
day.
It's like, we're not doing this for attention. It's just an expression of how I feel inside. And I want to look a certain way, but people are like, oh, you must be doing this because you want this. And it's the only thing I want is to celebrate myself.
Exactly.
I feel like you're very good at honoring yourself.
Yes, I know because like, I literally remember being young and being like, bro, what are these people talking about? I know who I am, bro. Like literally the shit. I remember like, and you know, I was called bossy growing up, but then I grew up going into high school realizing that I loved that people thought that because there was that line of like, I'm not bossy, I'm the boss.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you think I'm bossy, but you're still listening to what I'm saying, let's backtrack real quick. It's a different caliber, baby. I'm literally I'm like 9 years old and you're getting triggered at me. Telling me I'm bossy. bossy. Let's be so real. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
With it.
I have
With
to
it.
protect that. But when it came to like ballroom and especially my expression, my femininity, it really transformed everything, because even down to like how I operated on a very natural level, it was very masculine. Go do this. Take care of this person. Do this. Do. There was never a moment where I actually allowed myself to sit and receive and to allow myself to be watered into. You know what I mean? Okay. And because I allowed myself to experience femininity in a way where it was so intimate to me, because I was giving back to myself, I was able to understand how to develop that relationship with the world and the people around me.
Well, that's actually reminds me, because I don't know if I told you this, Nicole, but like the first time I met Chantal probably was when we did my reading, and that was one of the things you told me to do was like just sit back and just let people pour into you and to like, expand my capacity. And by doing that, so going back to the selfish thing, like there have been instances where people have felt that way, but I was like, if they feel that way about me sitting still and accepting myself, then that really wasn't meant to be anyway.
Exactly.
So,
because
like,
what about that is a problem? Let's be so real. Let's actually unpack that.
And it goes back to being the tool for people. It's like, oh, I'm just a tool. This is not a connection you want to foster. So it's like so many things I've been resonating with. I'm like, this is the life I'm living right now. How to get out of my head. But it's just when you sit down and like let the pieces fall where they're going to be, you notice things. You're like, oh, I'm going this way. These people are changing. These people are moving kind of funny now.
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave them where they are.
Exactly.
I believe in them exactly where they are. Like, I'm not going to fight you about it. I'm not going to I'm not going to bring it up, because then that's my energy.
Exactly.
And it's like,
not everyone can come with.
Exactly.
What it is.
and very much on that line of spirituality, what would you like to manifest for yourself going forward, personally, professionally, in general? Like,
Oh my goodness, this is such a great question. I've been doing a lot of reflection about this and talking to a lot of my mentors and my sisters, the sisterhood I have, and also like just people in general that I love, reflecting back on the fact that 5 years ago in April last month, I made the decision to choose myself and choose dance and walk away from my double degree in law and arts.
ooh.
Oh, wow.
Because I love, and no shade, I still would be a lawyer and I would be down. It's just that
I would eat y'all up.
it's just no shade. I came out, I was 18, I pulled up to that classroom and I said, this ain't nothing like How to Get Away with Murder. Let's wrap it up. No shade. This ain't nothing like, I want to get to that, and y'all sitting over here talking to me about, what was it?
Habeas
Contracts.
Yes, like corporate law and all this. I don't care about no corporate. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so big on passion, and you can tell, like, it's something that fuels me, and if I'm not passionate about it, I can't do it. And seeing the students be in the room so passionate about, answering these questions to the point where they're all actually fighting for the teacher's attention, all this stuff. I was sitting there and I was like, and this is me 3 weeks into the course, and I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. And then it was like, okay, I know I'm going to leave. Now, how am I going to do it and tell my family? Because I just graduated, and the discussions about going into the creative industry and all of these things was going to be an issue. So I guess like just reflecting all of that, and since I made that decision and just kind of went for it, and seeing how much I've been able to do in those 5 years, and also all the versions I've become, I manifest for myself to choose me this time and do what I want to do. Because I have always, for 5 years, despite me doing all these incredible things, I have always been in service as I was doing it. And I think I've always been in a position of giving in a way where I have been overextending myself, but not in a way where it kind of damaged me, because it always poured into me. But now I need to shift it, and it needs to go back into me doing the things that I want to do simply because I want to do it, not because it adds to a purpose of fulfilling expectation or creating impact in this person's life. No, I want to tick off this for me. I want to do this for me. I want to evolve for me. So that kind of looks like me stepping into mentorship, the space where my mentors are, where they're so deeply rooted in themselves that nothing can shake them. Like, they don't care. They don't care. But they care so much at the same time. And I think I'm learning that as somebody who is naturally operating from a place of kindness. How do I allow myself to still be operating from that and be grounded in that, but still have this firmness where you know not to play with me, because y'all really were playing with me these past 3 years. No shade if you're watching this. Yeah, like no shades. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm coming to a point where my rage over the past few years is softening now into like an understanding of why I was holding so much resentment towards fully trusting humanity to take care of me. And it's because in the midst of all of that, I kept realizing you have been abandoning yourself to take care of humanity. Like, you're saying people are abandoning you, is triggering your abandonment wounds, but you're also triggering your own abandonment wounds because you keep abandoning yourself to
In the
go
process,
to you know, in the process, like little things like not acknowledging my own hurt and saying it, you know, or saying how I feel period point blank, like what you did was messed up. Like, I don't know if I can cuss on this.
Yeah.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
what you did was fucked up and fuck
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? Instead of be like, yeah, like I know you didn't mean it, but like that. No, girl, we cannot do that
you're
anymore.
like protecting that person's feeling
Exactly, and it's like
over your own.
Because then you're suffering in silence. You're like, they didn't mean it, so
That's
I'll
it.
just eat that.
Tear
I'll
your
just eat
throat
that.
chakra
That's
up because
it.
you're holding in the words.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, I'm tired of it and I want to let go. And I think like as I'm working on expanding my capacity for love, especially my heart center, because that's really where I operate from. Like always, or even when I speak, I can always feel the energy like between my heart and my crown. So always these two that I operate from. And then I always also, quick little commercial break, if y'all want to see where you're at, try and talk from different energy centers. So try and talk from your root, from your pelvic area, and see how that feels. For me, I used to speak from my, I'm going to try now to see where, no, I actually don't need to do it because I've unblocked it. But let's say I'm speaking from my solar plexus, from my stomach, right?
Yep.
You will find that as you're speaking, there will be certain, if I just continue to talk from my solar plexus, you can see I'm stuttering all these things. You see what I mean? And you'll find that those are little signs that your body is letting you know where there needs to be healing. Solar plexus to do with like personal power, self-esteem, self, and being able to make decisions by yourself for yourself. And as somebody who grew up robbing myself of that, when I try and speak from here, my truth also being ruled by Leo, solar plexus is literally this. I stutter. Even right now, I'm like, and it doesn't sound like it, but I can feel it in comparison to how certain I feel when I speak from these two. So I always try this. I would do it from my like root chakra, but she's very traumatized, so I just
that's
you know,
that's all right.
it's a lot, but you know, like I used to find that when I would speak from my root chakra, my voice would start to soften and it goes quieter and quieter. No matter how much I would keep trying to push against that, I'll push it and it will stop loud and then it'll go quieter. So
interesting.
Yeah, commercial break done. Yeah. Take that home, write it down. Just giving back to myself is what I'm manifesting.
Love that.
And, you know, actually moving in silence in a way where I am protecting my artistry for myself first. Because I spent 5 years giving and carrying and all of that and learning and digesting all this stuff. And now I'm like, okay, I want to spend the next 5 years building me because, yes, people do call me wise, but wisdom cannot exist without experience. And I understand that I do have a lot of knowledge, but knowledge plus experience is wisdom. And I'm young, and I need to let myself experience, meaning I have to throw myself in the things I want to do, or I think I might want to do, or maybe I don't want to do, but I'm just going to try it anyway.
Make a mistake.
Yes, to figure it out and like, and to figure out myself so that when I do operate from that place of service and purpose, it's coming from a deep, deep groundedness, not from a place where I'm feeling like I have to offer something important to people early on or in the early stages of my career or my life period. Because people are acknowledging that I am very tapped in. Feeling like, okay, well, now that I'm tapped in, oh my gosh, I have to give. No, girl. No, you can still be tapped in.
You can just be tapped in and just let it exist and let it flow. Be the conduit and just let that be what it is.
Exactly, yeah. So that would be my manifestation just to myself. And then it would just be to expand my heart. Like, I want to keep choosing love no matter how that looks like, though, this time. Sometimes now I'm recognizing love can look like cussing someone out. You know what I'm saying?
That's love for self.
Yeah, it is. It's love for self, exactly. Sometimes it can also look like just taking a second and sitting with the discomfort of actually maybe pulling back a little bit more and then figuring out how I can go back to simplicity even more so that every time I'm returning, it's giving Beyonce. Disappears, creates a legacy, a body of work. I want to create a body of work and then come back and, you know what I'm saying? That has meaning and that requires you to step away, take time and experience.
100%.
And, you know, and then you come back with that knowledge and that wisdom and then you
come back refreshed.
Hello?
As well, rather than working from a place of like where you're like your glass is empty, your well is empty, really.
Exactly. And this is literally what just happened to me. I'm literally recovered from being sick for almost 11 days. Like literally like 2 weeks ago, and it was really bad, but I believe that it was a spiritual purge that manifested into a physical, because it kind of got to a point where I was not listening to the fact that I think I'm burning out.
See, your body was telling you
your
to
body
sit
keeps
down
the score.
somewhere. Your body was telling you to sit down somewhere, but you were like an
I said, girl, I have
achiever.
rent to pay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I said, sit.
Yeah.
I resonate with that. I've gotten a lot better in my age, though, to be like, you know what? I'm actually going to stop myself before I get to that point, because your body will be like, we're going to sit down now.
Yes, exactly.
And we're going to shut down.
Literally
We're gonna
power
shut
down.
down.
We're going to go on strike. And you're like,
Literally.
oh, shit.
That was literally me in the middle of working. I was at work and just dun, and I was like,
See?
and then I said to him, I don't know what I said to my manager's like, I don't know what's going on, girl, but I don't feel good. And then it just started progressively getting worse. So where I was dizzy and I felt faint and then nauseous, and then every day that kind of went, it was progressively getting worse. It was really bad, and I had to go get checked and everything. But I realized that it started happening the day after I did the Earth Shift weekend program, where we were doing it was just basically like a creative development plan and workshop, sharing tools and stuff. And during that time, I was speaking to one of my mentors, Tiana. Shout out to you, Tiana Canterbury. You're amazing. You're so brilliant. And I was speaking to her about how I was facing these challenges and trying to kick this wall that I felt a lot of resistance to. And at the time, this is before I got sick, she gave me a lot to think about and reflect on. And the second I started to think about that, then I became sick. So it was as I'm reflecting and my body is processing, finally.
Now that you stop
thinking
moving.
internally, you're internally working. Your body's like, hey.
All these engine lights are on.
Yes,
so.
exactly. So let's just I was like, whoa. Oh my gosh, for real. It was.
Listen to your body, honor yourself.
You have to, because it's just always going to get worse if you don't. Literally, I have never been sick like that, and I barely get sick, so it's that's how I knew it was serious. And then the clarity that's come, I literally have been only recovered. This is my third day being able to be productive and show up as myself again. And the amount of reflections and epiphanies I'm having, and just ideas coming back to me just from sitting for 11 days and just letting myself just raw, and actually letting myself also be taken care of. Actually getting to a point where I was forced to ask for help. I could not isolate. I couldn't isolate, And
those eldest daughter.
Exactly. It's so deep. So yeah, I think that would be that. And obviously there's goals that I want to have when it comes to manifesting. But y'all will see, because I will get it done.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at in my life, where I'm just allowing that channel between the three of us to just be here to protect the entity of the idea. Because, I read a lot of books and all this stuff, and they always say, don't speak about an idea too prematurely. Yeah. Before you fully allow it to grow to birth itself, because sometimes the channel and the time frame between it coming from the spiritual into the physical, it's two different wavelengths. And once things are trying to come to physical, it slows down even more. So it's when you're already talking about it and not kind of putting it to action through your own energy, and you're talking about it to other people, you're spreading out the energy. So it's going to take even. Does that kind of make sense?
I get what you're saying. It's rather than it fully loading, you're utilizing it before it's fully downloaded.
Yeah, because it's like
playing the song before it's fully downloaded, and then it starts buffering.
And it's just buffering, exactly.
Buffering.
But it's more like the energy. Let's say it's coming here at its fullness, and it's sitting with me, and I'm understanding and learning it. And as I'm trying to understand it, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. So now part of it's already going, and then it's going over here. So it's spreading, and then now I have this much of it left, and I'm I can barely remember what it wanted to be. What I wanted to do with it, and what. Not me saying sorry to the microphone. See, guys,
we apologize to the microphones all the time.
It happens. I slapped mine earlier.
But as it gets smaller, I'm tapped out of the vision that it wanted to be, because I've given it out and spread it out so far that it doesn't know how to bring itself back. Does that kind of make sense?
I totally get that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to wrap it up on that thought, just because we've given the listeners so much to chew on. We've been eating good. And for this mid-season finale, they'll be able to listen to it and listen to it again while we give them a month or two to break.
Finale.
This is the
this is big. This is big. And that's why we were so happy to have you on. And I love the fact that you know who you are, and people are going to listen to this and be inspired by the fact that you know what your path is, know what your purpose is. And it's going to make people, I feel invigorated sitting here talking to you. I'm I'm going to go home and do some writing.
Yes, please do. And if I can, I would love to leave a final message.
Oh, please
which
do.
Is from one of my favorite ever speakers. His name is Les Brown, and I live by this quote to this day. It's live full and die empty, meaning that in this life,
Use
in
it
this
all.
life, when you have the ideas, when you have the connection with the person or you're in love or whatever, live in the fullness of that experience so that when your spirit rests, it's not resting with all of those ideas, entities, and
wish I
spirits
would've done
surrounding
the
itself around. Exactly. Surrounding itself, being like, I was supposed to be down there, so this person can do this, but you chose your fear over love and you know, curiosity and da-da-da-da. So just like choose yourself, live for how people feel about it is not really it's not your business.
It's not your
Like
business.
girl, do you. Please do you.
So
Especially
live full,
live full, die
Die
empty.
empty.
bad boys
Yes.
for life. I
Yes, thank you so much. I love it. Exactly.
that's-
And get into Les Brown. He's amazing. He's one of
I'll
the
have to check him
main
out.
reasons why I think the way that I do as well.
Yeah, I'll have
You
to check
have
him
greatness in you. It's your job to water it and let it out. Thank you so much.
Period. Thanks for coming to
Yes.
the TED Talk.
Yes, 1,000%. Thank you so much for being here. That was incredible. I know for a fact whatever you put your mind to will be done. Like, there, 100% be cheering and screaming, crying, throwing up in the background, being like, yes! And then just taking time for your rest. So excited to see where you go. And I know it's going to be up. I know it's going to be up at your pace and at your speed. And just thank you. So, but until next time, I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this has been Melanated in Melbourne.
See ya.
This has been Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Visit us at melanatedinmelbourne.com or follow us on Instagram to send us your comments or questions. Thank you for listening.